Before America became the global power it is today, it was a fragile nation, divided, uncertain, and still defining its identity. And right after the legendary leadership of George Washington, one man faced the enormous challenge of keeping the country together. That man was John Adams. Often overshadowed by his predecessor, Adams played a critical role in shaping the early United States. His presidency, from 1797 to 1801, was filled with political conflict, international tension, and decisions that would test the limits of American democracy. This is the story of a stubborn, principled leader who put country above popularity and paid the price for it. John Adams was born in 1735 in Massachusetts, long before the United States even existed. He was not a soldier like Washington, nor a charismatic speaker like Thomas Jefferson. Instead, Adams was known for his sharp mind, strong opinions, and deep belief in independence. He became a key figure during the American Revolution, serving in the Continental Congress and helping push for independence from Britain. Adams even traveled to Europe, working as a diplomat and helping secure alliances, especially with France. By the time America won its independence, Adams had already proven himself as one of the nation's most dedicated patriots. After serving as vice president under George Washington, Adams ran for president in 1796. He narrowly defeated his political rival, Thomas Jefferson, in one of the most intense elections of the time. In an unusual twist, Jefferson became vice president, despite being from the opposing political party. This created immediate tension inside the government. Adams, a Federalist, believed in a strong central government. Jefferson, a Democratic Republican, believed in states' rights. Their rivalry would shape much of Adams' presidency. When Adams took office in 1797, the United States was already facing serious problems. Tensions with France were escalating. American ships were being seized, and diplomatic relations were breaking down. This conflict, known as the Quasi-War, was not officially declared, but it was real. American and French ships clashed at sea, and many feared a full-scale war. At the same time, political divisions at home were growing worse. The country was splitting into two opposing sides, each with its own vision for America's future. Adams had to navigate both international danger and domestic conflict at the same time. In an attempt to avoid war, Adams sent diplomats to France to negotiate peace. But what happened next shocked the nation. French officials demanded bribes before even beginning negotiations. This scandal became known as the XYZ affair. When news reached America, the public was outraged. Millions for defense but not 1 cent for tribute became a rallying cry. The incident pushed the United States closer to war, but Adams made a bold and controversial choice. Instead of escalating the conflict, he chose diplomacy. Despite pressure from his own party, Adams refused to declare war on France. Instead, he continued pursuing peace. This decision was risky. Many saw it as weak. Others believed it was the only way to protect the young nation. Eventually, Adams's efforts paid off. In 1800, the United States and France signed the Convention of 1800, ending the Quasi-War. By avoiding a full-scale war, Adams likely saved the country from economic and military disaster. But politically, the damage was done. One of the most controversial parts of Adams' presidency was the passage of the Alien and Sedition Acts. These laws were designed to strengthen national security during a time of tension. But they came at a cost. The acts made it harder for immigrants to become citizens and allowed the government to deport foreigners. More controversially, they limited criticism of the government. Many Americans believed this violated the Constitution, especially the right to free speech. Opposition grew rapidly, and Adams's popularity began to fall. Even today, historians debate whether these laws were necessary or a dangerous overreach of power. Adams's presidency was defined by intense political conflict. His rivalry with Thomas Jefferson became one of the most famous in American history. Their disagreements weren't just personal, they represented two completely different visions for the country. Adams believed in order, stability, and a strong federal government. Jefferson believed in liberty, agriculture, and states' rights. The divide between Federalists and Democratic Republicans deepened, setting the stage for future political battles. Ironically, Adams often found himself isolated even within his own party. The election of 1800 was one of the most important in American history. Adams ran for re-election against Thomas Jefferson. The campaign was bitter, filled with personal attacks and political tension. In the end, Adams lost. But what happened next was even more important. Instead of clinging to power, Adams accepted the results peacefully. This marked the first peaceful transfer of power between political parties in U.S. history. It proved that democracy in America could survive, even in times of deep division. On his last day in office, John Adams quietly left Washington, D.C. before Jefferson's inauguration. Though his presidency was controversial, his legacy is undeniable. He kept the nation out of a major war, strengthened the role of the presidency, helped establish the principle of peaceful political transition. Years later, Adams and Jefferson would reconcile, exchanging letters in a remarkable friendship. In a poetic twist of history, both men died on the same day, July 4, 1826, the 50th anniversary of American independence. John Adams was not a perfect leader. He was stubborn, sometimes unpopular, and often misunderstood. But he was also courageous, principled, and deeply committed to the future of the United States. In one of the nation's most uncertain periods, he chose peace over war and democracy over power, and that is why his story still matters today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.